I'm on my Facebook Live page too. Yo, what's up? I don't hear the music. I don't hear the music. I don't hear it. Yo, welcome here at OKCPS Coaches Show here at Dick's Sporting Goods. It's November the 1st, and we're doing our usual here with OKCPS coaches and their student athletes. Let's give them a hand for being out here on tonight. Listen, we're here at Dick's Sporting Goods at 6601 South 3rd. We are brought to you by SNU, Casey's General Store, Scissortail Waste Solutions, Automax, Grinmore Sneaker Boutique, and now, today, Big O's Pork and Dreams Barbecue, located in Edmond and Midwest City. Go support Big O. Well, we have some guests with us tonight, Classen SAS Middle School. We have head football coach Jeremy Matlick, and we have student athlete Carlos Hardeman. Give them a hand. Thank you, guys. Guys, listen, you are making your debut here on OKCPS Coaches Show. How you feeling about this, Carlos?
I feel good. You know, I came in a little nervous. I'm still a little nervous, but
It's all good. It's all good. So let me say this. Coach, tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you been over class in SAS, man.
I'm going into my third year here. Obviously, the second year is kind of a push with the COVID deal that's going in. My first year, we had a successful year trying to build a program from the rock bottom. We've never had football before.
I think the song said started from the bottom.
Yeah, and now we're here.
Yeah,
exactly.
See, Coach know that song.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to keep up with the culture. So, first year, lost 2 games. Lost to the heavy hitters. We lost to Taft, and we lost to John Marshall. And then second year was a push, and then this year, hats off to them. Our only loss this year is to Jefferson, which is going to be a rematch for the championship, and I'm looking forward to it. I know they're looking forward to it.
It's going down tomorrow.
Great. It's going to be live. Absolutely.
Well, so tell me, what's been exciting for you? Tell me your best game thus far.
my best game for me, it was probably against Jefferson.
Yeah. How many did you go for that day?
I went for 5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns. Man, that's pretty cool, man. So you're excited about tomorrow. Jefferson is here. We're going to keep you guys social distance, right, so we don't have any conflicts for tomorrow night. So you want to tell people about the game tomorrow and tell them to come out and support?
The game is at Taft at 6, so if y'all want to come show love, just pull up to that.
It's going down. It'll be a lot
Wear
of fun.
your hoodies and rain gear. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so, Coach,
cold.
tell us, how are you looking forward to tomorrow? You're playing in the ACAC championship game.
It's excited, just trying to build a program off of a pandemic coming off like that and never having a program. It was really tough, chasing kids in the hallway, say, hey, you want to play football? You want to play football? So it's been a challenge, but it's been very rewarding. Classen is known for its basketball. It's a traditionally strong basketball school. They go to the state championship in the high school every year, and everybody's like, oh, I'm just basketball. And I'm like, I can toss it up and you can go get it just like a rebound, like we can do that,
Absolutely.
So building a program and doing what we're doing, trying to do it right, being that we have the facilities that we have, being a former high school, we got a good weight room, and we got kids that, are academically excelled. We're just trying to absolutely blend that family of facilities with opportunities that they have in the classroom together. We have kids that excel, and we can excel outside of the classroom as well, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Sure. Carlos, tell me this, man. So you're getting ready to play football championship. One, do you play another sport? And then what is it about football that really attracts you to this game?
So, yeah, I play 4 different sports. I play football, basketball, I run track, and I play baseball. But what makes football my favorite, I started playing when I was 5. And so I played up when I was 5, and like I didn't get the playing time that I really wanted. But then I switched teams to my age group, and so from there, we worked on my skills, and so I developed a whole bunch of different skills,
Sure.
and I just started liking it from there.
Gotcha. So when you're watching, well, you're gonna watch Monday Night Football tonight, and New York is gonna beat Kansas City tonight. But when you watching, who's your favorite football player at the college level or the NFL level?
I don't really have a favorite
I
player
gotcha.
right now.
Gotcha. Well, it's a lot of fun watching them. So, Coach, as you coach these young men, tell me what your coaching philosophy is. So, as middle school young men, you are having the ability to make a super impression in these young men. What do you do? What is that like?
Building a program and being in the situation that I'm in, I want to create a love for the game. As you know, as a sports athlete, and if you look at the tradition of like a okay. So baseball's losing a lot of its fan base because a lot of love for the game. So I'm trying to build love for the game. It's not about wins and losses for me. For these kids, I'm trying to teach them the game, let them fall in love with the game and pursue it if they want to pursue it. If they don't, I understand this is a performing arts school. Like, they have so many opportunities outside. I got a lot of kids that would rather play their cellos or violins or be in theater or production or dance, have other alternative actions outside. So I'm just truly trying to find a love for the game and teach them the X's and O's and let them know that, like, when I click on ESPN or I'm flipping through the channels, I see a game, I know what's going on. I know what the A gap is. I know what the B gap is. I know what a flag route is. I know what a wheel route is. I know all this stuff, and they can further love the passion of the game.
Sure. So what is it like? You're at Classen, being an athlete. What is that like walking through those hallways, right? That comes with responsibility, but it also comes with exposure, right? So people are looking at you. How do they see you and view you and your teammates as you walk down those hallways at Classen?
I feel like they view me as a leader, but just like as a normal person, when we lost, they wanted to make fun of us, and like I just had to sit there and laugh because it's kind of funny, and then just came back. We did good this season. So
Back, what lessons do we learn, right? Because so much of life is spent trying to tell us about winning and about winning, but we do know that we don't always win. So what lessons are learned in those difficult moments where you have to embrace what some perceive as failure, which I will never call failure?
No, absolutely. Winning and losing happens. Like I said, I'm trying to teach the X's and O's and the love for the game. None of these kids in middle school, regardless if they're holding the trophy at the end of the day or they come up with a participation ribbon or a little banner, it's about the experiences that they had going through the journey.
Sure.
It's not about the winning and the losing going up, and that's what I'm trying to truly do. It is not about wins and losses at all. If we fall short at the end of the bell, fourth quarter, I'm just trying to create gentlemen, sportsmanship, and the journey of the process. And in life, everybody, that's not fair.
Sure.
You're right. Life is not fair, and we got to learn the trials and tribulations of, okay, if it's not fair, what are we going to do moving forward? And that's what I love to see these guys being in the middle school. I love to see them in the high school excel and take that next step that I was able to give them a little boost.
Absolutely.
But Coach Durrell at the high school can take them to a whole nother level, and that's what I'm willing to do and wanting to do for this program.
Well, and I think that's what a lot of what Coach Dilbeck has been saying about building a community. I mean, building a program, right? A vertical integration with middle school, high school, et cetera, which hasn't always existed the way it is coming to pass in OKCPS right now. So tomorrow's championship game, what is tomorrow going to be like? What is your pregame routine? What music are you listening to? What meal did you ask your mama to cook for you, right? So to give you all of the carbs and energy that you need. What does tomorrow look like?
Well, tomorrow's going to definitely be parental advisory. We'll just put
yeah, everybody got to stay out of trouble tomorrow. But really, I listen to music throughout the day, and I just listen to music that'll keep me positive to get me hyped for the game. That's really that's my
it.
pregame
What-
ritual.
Who's your guy though?
Yeah.
Who's on the playlist? Let's go deep.
Anybody
Let's
that
go deep.
anybody that got hype music, anybody.
I got you. I don't know. I'm old, so you guys are not listening to what I was listening to.
No, probably not.
Well, that's cool. Coach, anything you want to say to Classen, how they can support you guys, anybody you want to thank? Obviously, these parents have been super
Absolutely.
supportive all the way up
Absolutely.
until this point. And tomorrow, it's the coup de grace.
Yeah, it's all out. I want to first of all thank Classen administration. They took a risk on a guy. I mean, I've been a varsity football coach for about 14 years. Want to take a kind of a step back. I got some kids that are getting ready to graduate, and I want to be able to enjoy them. So I want to thank them for taking a risk on a guy that wants to take a step back, but at the same time want to be involved, and I want to thank them for that opportunity. The parents, the booster clubs have been absolutely amazing. Everything, I mean, from pregame meals to decorating, everything has been done right. It's so fantastic. I want to give a shout out to, I think tomorrow we're going to be live. We're going to have bands. We're going to have cheerleaders. It's going to be absolutely to the nines. I think we're going to be doing it right on the Classen SAS side. And I'm just excited. I want to challenge anybody, aunts, uncles, get out. Come out and see. I know it's going to be cold. It might be wet. Come out, support your team, whether it be Jefferson, whether it be Classen SAS. Let's fill up the stands. Let's get live and get ready.
Absolutely. So we got this big game tomorrow. I'm partial to Taft Stadium. I went to another high school, or John Marshall, and that's where we played our high school games. And the fact that it's a new field, they've done a lot of renovations to it, man. How do you feel playing in that stadium? Not just that stadium, but any stadium, right? Like, it's a cool feeling to be able to be supported and play on a big stage that way.
Yeah, when I first started playing in stadiums, I was really nervous because, like, legit, just looking up into the stands and, like, seeing all those seats that can be filled, it made me feel like if I play bad, I'll be criticized. But then when I actually get on the field, I just get out there and I try to do my thing and just execute.
Absolutely. So, Coach, just a couple of more questions, and then we're going to kind of rotate. We have Jefferson here. We have U.S. Grant High School here on tonight. So it's going to be a cool time. Tell me what tomorrow looks like, right, for you as a head coach, right? What is the walkthrough, what we used to call it, and all of those things? What does that look like coaching-wise? What are you saying? What has been your mantra this year? What has been that thing that's been repeated in your locker room?
The mantra or the theme is create history. I think after we saw what we had after about week two, it just Texas's deal is now finished because they only played 3 quarters. So right now ours is create history. A little history buff. Actually, Classen was the first state championship winner in 1943, I believe. As soon as OSSAA started keeping track, we won the first state championship in football in the state of Oklahoma.
Wow.
Yeah. So, that's what I'm trying to see. We have at our school, we have a museum dedicated to it, as far as not just for football, but it's one of the oldest high schools in the state of Oklahoma. So we have a museum, and I'm just trying to say, boys, you could make history right now. You could have a section on this wall, or you could have an opportunity to be a part of something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Even when your legacy is said and done and life is over, somebody else in your same shoes can look back and say, you could be a part of this. So I think my big mantra has been, create history, start something new. As far as my game day preparations, it's a lot of, phone calls with parents trying to figure out when catering's coming and, when we're going to get these kids fed, because that's my big deal. I like to keep the kids fed. So, get that situated. And then once, I get everything divvied out, we'll go into individuals. We'll break up into a little chalk talk situation. We'll get that going once their bullies are fed. And once we get from there, we'll get dressed. We'll hit the bus. And from there, it's just walkthroughs and get it done.
Sure. So last question, I think. Who are your coaching influences?
My biggest influence is Mitch Bryant. So Mitch Bryant played for OU as well. His brother played for OU as well. And he was my freshman football coach when I was at Central Mid-High, when it was still one Norman High School.
Sure.
He was a great influence with me. Loved him. Actually played with his son, Brad Bryan, who went to Nebraska. He just influenced me so much, impacted me so much that both of my parents are teachers as well. So it just kind of ran in the blood. Like, I got great coaching opportunities, great instructions. My parents are teachers. It just made sense.
Gotcha. So, Carlos, last question for you. Who influences you to play football, to play sports? Obviously, you're a four-sport guy. So your parents, who's that person that kind of led you into this world of athletics?
My parents really influenced me to always work hard because, you know, I have two sisters and, you know, they excel at their sports. And so I just want us all to, you know, go somewhere so when they get old I can take care of them.
Absolutely. So what are your future plans? You have a desire to go to college and play a sport? And if so, which sport would you love to go to college and play?
I would love to go get a scholarship for football, but if scholarships for other sports come, I guess that's what I'm going to do.
Hey, man, take the one that pays first, right? It's like not even hard. Your parents would greatly appreciate it. Let's do this one. This one is free.
Yeah, they want me to play baseball.
Baseball. Let me tell you, they might be wise. You look at the league minimums in baseball and football and so on and so forth. Baseball minimum is fairly significantly higher than the other sports. So a great sport, man. Well, Coach, thank you for being on. Thanks for Classen SAS Middle School for being. Thank you, Carlos. And listen, tomorrow night, 6 p.m., Taft Stadium, it's going down for real. At this time, we're going to have a little switcheroo right here. We own live, and it'll be okay. And so we're going to get Jefferson Middle School coach and athlete to come on over. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So life-changing. I had to find it so.
Make sure they hear
I
you.
didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Add Gain scent beads for an even longer lasting
At 35.
With early paycheck,
I got you.
can get your direct deposit up to 2 days
I hear the
early.
station now. Yeah.
Capital One is the easiest decision ever. Even easier than deciding to open the biggest birthday gift first.
50 seconds.
Which one are you going to open first?
Yep, even easier.
Yo, thank you guys for joining me live on this Monday night OKCPS Sports Show. So you guys just get to listen and see some of the athletes and the coaches that I'm talking to on tonight.
If the Oral-B IO electric toothbrush had a theme song, this would be it.
I think you're gonna wanna see this.
Only IO combines Oral-B's dentist-inspired round brush head with gentle micro vibrations for a brushing experience even dentists have hailed as literally the best brush I've ever used. Get the wow of a professional clean feel every day with the IO from Oral-B, the #1 brand used by dentists.
You're gonna see what everybody's talking about.
Oral-B, brush like a pro.
Yo, welcome back, OKC, to the OKCPS Coaches Show. Here on CBS Sports Radio, 105.3 FM, here at Dick's Sporting Goods, 6601 Southwest 3rd. We're brought to you by SNU, Casey's General Store, Scissortail Waste Solutions, Automax, Grinmore Sneaker Boutique, and now on today, Big O's Pork and Dreams Barbecue. So we want to say thank you. We've had Classen SAS Middle School, and so now we have Jefferson Middle School head coach Clinton Campbell and student athlete Jonathan Anderson. Let's give them a hand. All right, Coach, so we just had Classen SAS on here. It's going down tomorrow night, Taft Middle School, 6 p.m. Everyone in the city is invited to come out and support these incredible middle school football programs. So, Coach, tell me, how you looking forward to tomorrow?
You know, we just got to go out there and play ball. Everybody's got a block. Everybody's got a responsibility to do. And if we work together as a team, we're going to get the job done.
All right. Mr. Anderson.
Yeah.
Almost like Neo, right, in The Matrix, Mr. Anderson. You don't remember that. Right. How are you feeling about tomorrow? I know you're a little nervous about this, right? You're going to be real comfortable on the football field. But what are you excited about on tomorrow?
No, I'm just hype. I just want to play.
You just want to play? Now, what position you play?
Fullback.
All right, so tell me what's been the most exciting game thus far, and maybe your best game that you've played in thus far.
Probably our last game against Southeast.
Tell me why is that so special? What did you do?
70-yard touchdown.
Oh, that would be pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could run that far anymore. So tell me why you like football so much, and do you play other sports?
No, I like football because my stepdad and my mom, they inspiration a lot. And I play football and wrestling, and I'm thinking about doing track or soccer.
Okay, man, that sounds really cool. You're going to be really busy. So, Coach, tell me, how did you get into coaching, and then how long have you been at Jefferson?
Coaching's just been a passion of mine since I was an athlete. I kind of knew that's what I wanted to do. Became an education major and started coaching right away. So I think I'm on year 20 in coaching. I've been at Jefferson for 3 years. Got you.
So, Coach, tell me what your team mantra has been, right? So what is that saying, those words that have been repeated? If you may have them on your T-shirt, what has been that driving force to get you to this championship game?
Preparation is one of our big things that we talk about, and they ain't ready. You know, it's something we say it often because we put in the work. They ain't ready because they ain't doing what we doing every day, grinding. So that's what we hope comes true. So I try to instill in these kids, and if you put in the work in life, then good things come to you.
Sure. So tell me this, how has being an athlete at Jefferson impacted your life? Like, do you feel differently, or has had your maturity, you've grown up? How does it feel being a student athlete at Jefferson?
I feel better because I'm usually locked up in the house, and I get to go outside more a lot.
So what is that influence like? So what is the spirit or the energy like at Jefferson? Because they know you're playing in this championship game tomorrow. So what was that like? What are your other students treating you like as you walk down the hallways? And they excited about this game?
Yeah, they just come up to me like you're a monster and stuff.
So that's almost like fuel and inspiration to go out and even to do your best, because now you have an entire school rooting for this entire team for success on tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so you guys, Coach, tell me this. You beat Classen earlier. What was that like?
You know, we came together at the beginning of the season, and we both have some high-powered offenses. So I think the end score was 48-36 or somewhere in there. And I looked it up. I think they're the only ones that scored more than 48 points this season. They scored 55 against somebody. So you're seeing two high-powered offenses. They're going to face off tomorrow night, and it's going to be fireworks, man. Come check it out.
Man, listen, I'm telling you, 55 points, 40 points, you guys are putting up big numbers in middle school. So, Coach, tell me this. As you're coaching these young men, tell me what one of your biggest philosophies is. Not just about preparation, but those things that you want them to learn, those transferable skills from the football field to the classroom to life in general.
We have these conversations every day. It's character building. Football is character building, 100%. Take away the wins and losses. Take away the fans in the stands. You got to stand up and you got to do something. If you get knocked down, you got to find a way to get back up and keep moving forward. So I heard Coach say it's not fair. These kids have lived a couple of unfair lessons in football that hopefully they carry with them in life, and
sure.
They get to realize that sometimes the cards are stacked against you, and you got to find a way to win.
Sure. So Jonathan, tell me, who's your influence in terms of football? Not just your parents and your stepdad who inspire you, but who are you watching on Monday night or Saturday football? Who's that team that you support or you want to model your game after?
Kyler Murray.
Let me tell you something.
Inspiration.
I want to model my game after his too. He took a tough L the other day. The wide receiver didn't even look back at the ball the other day when they lost to Seattle, I believe it was. But so Kyler Murray. Anybody else that you can think of?
Baker Mayfield too. A lot of OU players.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, man. It's the only college team in town I know of. I'm just kidding. So, Coach, who are your coaching influences, and who are those guys that you're talking to that have kind of been a roadmap for your coaching career?
I grew up, wasn't as fortunate enough as a lot of you guys to be able to grow up in the state of Oklahoma. So I'm from Idaho, and so my high school wrestling coach is a Hall of Fame coach back there and led some championship teams. I was fortunate enough to move on to college and wrestle for Joe Parisi at Lindenwood University, also a Hall of Fame wrestling coach. I haven't been involved. I played high school football and a couple years of semi-pro, but most of my coaching experience has been in the sport of wrestling, and so I've leaned on a lot of those different lessons that I've learned from coaches that I've worked with, under, and for. Archie Randall here in the state of Oklahoma is one. I coached at Oklahoma City University with him. Matter of fact, he's my reason for being in Oklahoma. He kind of recruited me to come down and coach with him and stuff like that. So lots of great legacies that have come before me that have imparted some wisdom on me. So hopefully I've absorbed some of it.
Well, that's really cool. I don't want to influence any referees, but you're a former wrestling coach, so you teach your linemen how to get in here and hold and not be seen by the officials. Don't answer that. Don't answer that. This is being recorded right now. So you've had those influences. Tell me about what you're looking forward to on tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I'm looking forward on making some touchdowns and some good plays on defense.
Sure. Coach, how are you helping these kids, these student athletes, kind of measure themselves, right? Because sometimes I think we have the tendency to kind of use all of our energy before it's time. So how are you keeping them all corralled, and what's going to be your philosophy and plan on tomorrow, just like I asked the coach earlier?
We're going to get them fed before the game. Big up to Youth for Christ is coming out and providing some meals for us at the school before we get on the bus. We usually do a visualization session where we slow them down and think through football scenarios from start to finish and allow them to get their mind and body in sync. And that usually does a good job at helping tamp down the nerves and getting the physical and the mental both ready to go.
Well, listen, just like we gave them an opportunity, who would you like to say thank you to, because all of the support that you've had from various people feeding your student athletes, all the parents that have supported, share that with us.
Much love to our administration at Jefferson. None of this would be possible without their support, and they've been wonderful. Coach Rock with Youth for Christ has been a steadfast picture in our program. Trayvon Smith with
FCA.
Yeah, we got a lot of people that are coming out and trying to help us stay focused and ready and dropping words of wisdom to our players along the way. So I don't want to miss anybody, but thank you to everybody that's supported us throughout the way.
Who would you like to give parting shout out to? Tell us how they can hit you on your social media handles. You got all of that?
Yeah. But I'll give a shout out to my stepdad. He's the one that got me into football.
Cool.
He's been my inspiration since I was like 7.
Cool, man. That's really special. Hey, Coach, now we're going to give you an opportunity to introduce all of your athletes that are here with us on tonight. My able-bodied assistant, Vanna White.
Yeah, okay, there we go. All right, we're just going to step in there and do that real quick. Maurice Prince here in the Jefferson student section over here. Going to let them introduce themselves right about now. Sir, what is your name?
Jameer Martin.
Your position?
Quarterback.
All right. Next up.
Ty. Derek.
Okay, thank you for your full name. What position you play?
Running back.
Running back, all right. Sir?
Rashad Ellis.
Rashad Ellis, what position do you play, sir?
I play right guard and D tackle.
Right guard and D tackle. And you, sir?
Joel Villacana.
All right.
I play left tackle.
All right. And you, sir?
Isaac Jones. I play tight end and D end.
Tight end and D end. And you, sir?
Zoe Jones.
Zoe Jones?
And I play cornerback.
Cornerback, all right. So this is the Jefferson section, guys. So this means tomorrow night it goes down. You guys ready to take on a little bit of football tomorrow night? Okay, I'm just asking, Mike. I'm just asking. They look ready to me. I mean, they look like some football players here.
Absolutely, man. And it's going to be really exciting on tomorrow. Obviously, Classen, Jefferson, middle school, ACA championship. It'll be like none you've ever seen thus far. And with all of the points they scored the last time, I won't be surprised if we got over 100 points scored on tomorrow. Maybe you coaches don't wish that. Maybe we stop something. But
Yeah, we want to slow them down a little bit.
it's going to be really exciting, man. At this time, we're going to get ready to take a break, I guess, and we're going to come back on the other side with the big boys. I'm looking at them, U.S. Grant High School football team. Thank you for joining us here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3. We'll see you on the other side. Thank you, guys.
Did you know that every day someone misses out on a great opportunity, all because of the fear of rejection? But what if you could explore that opportunity without facing any consequences?
The thing with car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually get a car. Dealerships, websites, auctions, private sellers, and so on. But knowing exactly where to get your car loan makes it all much less stressful. That's where Communication Federal can help. There's a reason we're known for auto loans around here. Lots of car options and lots of places to buy, but only one choice for an auto loan. Communication Federal Credit Union.
Injuries don't wait for business hours. Now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Grant's 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first therapy.
Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit ibrance.com. Low white blood cell counts that may lead to Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Hey team, we landed the contract!
Kaya's web design studio just landed the gig of a lifetime.
It starts next week.
Their staff needs to double before the dream deal becomes a nightmare.
Front end, back end, project managers.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The way you set up the tree, how you hang every light. The holidays are what you make them. Make them even more.
Say something in your mic.
Testing. Check.
I don't hear him. I don't hear him. You hear him?
Testing.
Okay.
Testing. Check.
I don't hear him in mine, though.
$14.98. So you can make your holiday twice as nice, twice as merry at Lowe's.
Hello.
Home
Testing.
to
Testing.
any
You hear me?
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Well, we'll go with it. So you guys have kind of pretty much heard how it goes. Levescy, right?
Yes, sir.
One location for the best deals on a brand new
Alec.
Go to boomerkia.com, click the iPreCheck banner, and get pre-approved instantly, all without hurting your credit. Then get to Boomer Kia off I-240 in South OKC.
So. Yo. Now, what year are you?
12th grade.
12th grade. Cool things. Yo, welcome back to OKCPS Coaches Show here on CBS Sports Radio 105.3. We are here at Dick's Sporting Goods, 6601 Southwest 3rd. Our sponsors are Dick's Sporting Goods, SNU, Casey's General Store, Scissor Tail Waste Solutions, Automax, Grinmore Sneaker Boutique, and Big O's Pork and Dreams. We now have with us here U.S. Grant Football. Coach Levescy is with us, and we were going to have several student athletes, but we're starting here with Arnold Ortiz right now. Coach, thank you for being on tonight and being a part of OKCPS Coaches Show. So tell us, man, just what you thought about football season thus far at the U.S. Grant.
Yes, sir. Thank you. First of all, thank you for having us on here.
Our season started off pretty nice. Some games didn't go the way we wanted it to, but you know, everybody that's from Oklahoma knows 6A is a tough uphill battle for us. So the more positive thing is our kids don't give up, and that's one thing that I pride myself on is the commitment that we had. I had a conversation with them today. You know, I appreciate everybody that's still here and still a part of the team and hadn't dropped off. Like, you know, sometimes that happens, and it is what it is, part of sports. But they'll always have respect in my book for sticking it out.
Absolutely. And let me just say this. Obviously, I kind of went on the website and kind of looked, and me being an Oklahoma guy, and I think sometimes, and I don't know who I'm preaching to the choir, but the way that we put people in these classes, I don't know. Sometimes I think people ought to go back and take a different look at that because that's quite an uphill battle to be in that class. And so, man, you guys have given it everything you got. And so, Arnold, tell us, man, how have you thought about the season and just the exciting things that have happened and how you guys have grown as a team?
Well, the team has a little possible. I mean, I can talk.
That's all right.
A lot of
positives.
Positives,
yeah.
Yes. And that's all I could think of.
Gotcha. So let me ask you, what is it about football that makes you excited, and then to continue to just be a part of this program and what your coaches are giving to you guys? What motivates you to keep playing?
My friends, you know, I've been playing with my boy Jeremiah since 7th grade, and he pushed me to play ball, high school ball. So, yeah.
Absolutely. No, man, I think that's really exciting. Obviously, when we do things in life, it's our teammates, it's our friends and buddies that really inspire us and motivate us to keep going. So, Coach, let me ask you this. What is your philosophy? How do you keep this team going? What do you share? What does your coaching staff do to help keep them inspired and motivated?
So, like I said, I already said it once or twice. My biggest word is pride. For people that don't know, I actually graduated from U.S. Grand. So actually coming back to kids that are just like me, and the fact that I can relate to them. And, you know, I'm only 28 years old. My coaching staff is pretty young as well, and I like to have younger guys around. Not that the older guys don't know what they're doing, but, you know, they can actually relate to these kids a little bit better. And, you know, but I definitely try to install this pride in them, you know, just pride in what you do, pride in, you know, being a general. And that's one thing that a lot of my teammates when I was in school didn't have. And,
gotcha.
You know, whether or not the scores on our side or not, you know, whether we win or lose, you know, just having pride in being a general, having pride from being from the South Side, and just having pride from where you're from.
Sure. So with that being said, Coach, tell me what a day in practice looks like, right? As you put your plan together, what does that look like for those novice, right? For those who don't know really, they see football on Sunday or Saturday or Friday, but there's a lot more to it than that. So walk us through what that daily practice routine looks like.
Okay, so like today, we kind of did a little bit of both sides of the ball. It's what we call install day. So we always obviously start off the practice with warm-up stretches, stuff like that. Then we get into what we call individual periods. So that's where you get with your individual position coaches, whether you're like an O-line, D-line. Like today we start off with defensive individual. So I coach the D-line, so I'm over there with the D-line, you know, the linebackers with the linebacker coach, DBs, and so on and so forth. And then we get about, you know, 15, 20 minutes of that, go to offensive individual. And then today we go straight from individual to team. On other days, like tomorrow's going to be defensive day, we'll go offensive individual first, so we still get that little bit of offensive work in, defensive individual. Then we'll come together for like Skelly or inside run,
gotcha.
Where, you know, the linebackers come down with the D-line and, you know, we work run fits and stuff like that, and then we come together for team at the end. I'm also, I guess, technically the special teams coordinator, so we definitely sprinkle in. This year we actually started doing it at the beginning of practice. Last year we did it at the end, but this year I talked and was like, hey, I want to do, you know, let's do this before we get into individual. So we do special teams, and then we'll go into individual, and then kind of break off into, you know, Skelly inside run, and then we'll go to team, and usually end with some kind of conditioning.
So a lot of people, there are a lot of moving parts to having a well-oiled football machine. And there's a reason to the madness, right? And when all of these things come together, you can see it. It's like poetry in motion.
Oh,
hey,
yes.
That's how we drew it up. And it takes all of that individualized practicing pieces and then coming together as a team. So, Arnold, tell me, what is your favorite part of football, right? So let me say, for instance, a lot of guys like hitting.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't one of those guys. I would just prefer not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But what is your part? You look like you a little aggressive. You want to.
Oh, yeah. I love hitting. I love blocking, especially pancaking.
You like pancaking?
Yes.
I'm trying to stay away from being the one who gets pancaked.
Yeah, getting the quarterback. Well, we can't even touch the quarterback because
they're so special.
Yeah, they're so special. But
who do we have Friday night?
Deer Creek.
You can go touch him.
Oh, yeah. That's the goal.
So what position you play?
I play offensive line, which is right tackle, and D-line, D-end.
Okay, so as a DN, right? So there are some famous defensive ends like, Lawrence Taylor or Thomas, and everybody has this move that they do, right? So what is your kind of go-to to get away from the offensive lineman to get to the quarterback? What's your go-to?
Just beat them off the
ball
and swim move.
Swim move. You just slapping them real good, get them out the way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's really cool, man. I love that position in football. That position, as well as others, has a tremendous impact on the football game, man. And so I encourage you, just keep gripping and ripping and giving it all you have. So, Coach, tell me, what are your thoughts about Friday night? What are you telling your kids? And is this the last game, or?
Yes, sir. This will be the last game of the season. The last two games, we played Del City last week, and then we played Deer Creek this week. And I've been telling my guys that they're shining stars of their line. You know, last week we were playing against a pretty good D line, and this week we played probably the more physical O line that we played all season. Just pointing out, one of the guys that I know are on my scouting report is Jacob Sexton. There, I mean, he goes both on right and left tackle. But he's an OU commit. Kid's 6'5", 3 something. He's bigger than I am, but just having to teach these kids technique. That's one thing that Arnold is really good at. I mean, he's undersized for his position, but I mean, technique. He wins battles with his technique, and on O-line, he goes on the G of go. And when I say the G of go, I mean there's times where he might be offsides, but he is very, very good
Coach,
at it.
he's not offsides until they call it.
Exactly right. But he definitely has his get off, and he is when you asked him what his favorite thing was, I knew he was going to say pancaking, because he has prided himself on pancaking. I mean, he loves it. I mean, and that's what I love as an O-line coach, is I've installed that pride of being an O-lineman, because, you know, everybody's like, oh, I want to play quarterback, I want to play receiver, I want to do this, I don't want to play O-line. Well, when you first get that pancake, you'll fall in love with it.
Absolutely. In the NFL, when I attempted to play on Tuesdays, everybody watches special teams together, right? So it's one or two things you don't want to be on that film for anything bad, right? Because everyone is going to get to see. But how does it make you feel when you're watching film and everybody is watching you pancake a couple of guys, man? Like, that is an incredible feeling. You know, your teammates are oohing and ahhing. How does that make you feel about what you've accomplished?
It feels cool, you know. It's just, it feels like I'm like the dog from our team. So, and yeah,
absolutely. Well, Coach, listen, we're going to give a chance to switch your athletes in here really quickly. And Arnold, man, congratulations. I know this is your senior year. Are you going to move on over to another sport?
Maybe. I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Well, this is your last year. You're a senior. Go wrestle, man. Go do something. Go throw a shot put. I don't know. Can you run?
Or no, not really.
It's all good, man. Go do something else. Don't let it end with this, all right?
All right.
Hey, nice meeting you, man. All right, let's give him a hand. Coach, tell us the next athlete we have coming up here.
Next guy we got coming up his name's Jeremiah Barkus. He's also a senior. He's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. He kind of plays multiple positions. Since his freshman year, he's kind of gone back and forth between receiver and quarterback, and then playing corner and free safety on defense, punt return, kickoff return. I'm pretty sure if I'd put him down on the D-line with Arnold, I'm pretty sure he'd go play some D-end for me if I needed him to. So.
Well, cool, man. Good to have you, man. You
Yes, sir.
nervous about being on?
A little bit.
Don't be nervous, man. Just thousands of people are viewing you right now.
They'll
Just
go
wave
away.
at them. Hey, how you guys doing?
They'll go away here in a bit.
All right. So tell me, man, how has it been playing at U.S. Grant? You're a senior now. You've done this for 4 years.
Yeah.
Tell me some of your best moments.
Man, most of them was this year, only because, like Arnold said earlier, I played with most of them since middle school.
Mhm.
So it's special knowing I'm about to end it with them just like I started.
Sure.
I started playing football in 6th grade, and it was fun. But once I played middle school ball, that's where I really started loving it.
Sure.
And I started loving it when they came around, and now
Gotcha.
I get to end it with them.
Sure. That's really good, man. Just starting and finishing something together as a group. So tell me, you play all of these positions, but which one is your favorite position?
I love receiver, but then I love corner.
Yeah.
But then if I was to go to, if a college coach was to ask me what do I want to play, I'd probably say receiver.
Sure.
I would say receiver.
What are your aspirations beyond high school? Do you want to go to college and play football?
College football has been on my mind since 8th grade, really.
Got you.
Since
So what
8th
does that
grade.
look like?
And I went on a couple of visits. Man, D1, D2, like everybody's dogs. Like
sure.
Like I went on a couple of visits. I see them in the locker room. I see them pregame. Everybody's bulked up, huge, ready to hit. I'm like, wow. Like doesn't matter where I go, I'm gonna have to work.
Oh, absolutely, man. And so, you know, we talk about lessons you learn as an athlete in general. But what do you think one of the greatest lessons you've learned in your athletic career thus far?
Stop thinking I'm better than everybody.
Man,
Yeah,
say that one more time, because some of these young guys out
Yeah.
here just think that it stops with them.
Yeah, I came in freshman year. I played quarterback for a little bit. After my first varsity game, it was a pretty good game. I think three touchdown passes. So it was a pretty good game for me. So I went into my second game, and it's probably one of the worst games I ever had, just because I went in so cocky.
Sure.
And so that's when I kind of humbled myself. Like I gotta stop being so extra.
Well, man, I'm telling you, you have been a breath of fresh air with
Yes,
those
sir.
two statements, because you don't have to think, you know, less of yourself, but understand that life is a grind.
Yes,
You're
sir.
going to meet some people bigger, stronger, faster,
Right.
but you can still have an impact, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you can put in the work and the time to really make the difference. And
Yes,
so Coach, tell me, man, how long have you been at U.S. Grant, and what does this senior class mean to you?
So this will be my 7th year altogether. I started off as assistant coach for 2 years, and this will be my 5th year as the head coach. So this senior class, I've only got a few of them, but they mean the world to me, because especially these two guys, they're my 4-year guys. You know, those guys that have been with me since their freshman year. You know, I've been their only high school coach. I can't say that I had the same high school coach when I was in high school. I had 3 different head coaches, 4 different offense coordinators, 4 different defense coordinators, and that was one thing when I told myself I was going to come back and, you know, be a part of these kids' lives and not be in and out, you know. And, you know, some of my assistant coaches, especially this year, you probably know, you've already interviewed Mike Riggs. He used to be on
Yep.
staff with me for a few years, and one of his assistants was with me. But before that happened, I mean, maybe one assistant coach every year was a little bit different. But besides that, there was the same faces these kids see day in and day out. And I think that's important for a program to build, is to see the same head coach, the same guy that tells you, you know, yells at you and makes you run, but tells you he loves you at the end of the day. And that was one thing I had, you know, at least in baseball in high school. And that was, you know, that's a guy that I pride myself to be like him. My old baseball coach, Tommy Cornish, actually is his name. And not to go off subject or anything,
That's
but we
all right.
actually got a new baseball field that we unveiled to him and named it after him. It's called Cornish Field. So if y'all have a chance to go run by Grant, go check out Cornish Field. So
Well, and so let me say this too. So, you know, Jeremiah, you've been there at U.S. Grant, and you've seen the changes that have taken place with the physical facilities, right?
Yes, sir.
So how does that make you feel when you've watched this district and the administration? You know, man, you guys, I've been in your basketball gym over there. I see the football field, the practice field is getting done. How does that make you feel being an athlete over at U.S. Grant now?
Well, I remember my freshman year we practiced on the football field, and then my sophomore year we ended up playing we had to practice on the baseball field for a little bit. Well, I think the whole season, while they was building up the football field and everything else. So it puts a smile on my face. I know my little brother gets to play on the better fields, and then I know the classes under me get to play on the better court, gets to play on the better field. And when I come back, I'll be able to know, like, this is where I came from.
Got you. So, Coach, we're going to get ready to introduce the rest of your team, and we'll let Mo introduce the rest of the U.S. Grant football team tonight.
Mic on? Is my mic on? Is my mic on? All right. So this is what we've got to do. Real quick. U.S. Grant student section tonight. We're ready to get this thing going on tonight. So first of all, sir, your name and then, of course, your position.
Lucius Welch, quarterback.
All right, quarterback. Okay.
Zachary Reese, and I play DN.
DN, okay.
Donnie Drew, safety.
Safety, all right.
KJ Phillips, receiver.
Receiver, all right. We got a little offense on this end. You, sir.
Andre Martin, running back.
Running back. Okay, so we got a good mixture. Do we have anybody else back here? Okay, I want to make sure I got all my...
Don't forget the big man back there.
Okay, what? Don't hide.
My name is Tristan Vasquez. I play guard and D-tackle.
He said he does both sides of the ball. So we got the student section jumping off here. Give it up for the Generals in the house.
Listen, so you got your guys out here. You going to war one more day, right? So what are you looking forward to on Friday night?
Going out playing, giving it all, knowing it's our last game. I might be a little sad after, might cry, I don't know. But
all is acceptable.
Yeah.
You can cry and be sad.
And as long as they go out and give me 100% for my last game, I'm gonna be happy.
Sure.
That's all I'm worried about.
So, Coach, what are your words to him tomorrow?
Well, I mean, I already gave him my words today. Like I said, these guys have earned my respect for being here through week 10, and it doesn't matter how the scoreboard looks at the end of the week. We got to ball out, and we got to turn up this week. I mean, it's the last week for some of these seniors. I mean, and for some of them, the last time they ever strap up ever again. You know, and I had to face that. Like he said, he's probably going to get sad. I remember my last game over at the old Spiegel, back down in the little dungeon, as we called the home locker room. I was the last one in there, and I definitely broke down myself. So, but just going out and giving it their all, you know, being prideful in who they are and not giving up. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard looks like. You know, if we're always have some positives, there's some negatives too, but just not giving up. You know, when you start folding, that's when people start looking at you a little bit differently. But
sure,
you know, we've always got a little bit of respect from all these teams we keep playing. You know, I even get, you know, coaches that know who the old U.S. Grant was, and they come and tell me, and you know, just these guys' sportsmanship at the end of the day. You know, no one's being dumb or anything like that, but they're just coming out and fighting. So it's going to be a fun night, and I hope we end the season off right.
Well, listen, we want everybody to go out on Friday night and support U.S. Grant. We thank you, Coach Levescy, for being on.
Thank you for having us.
We thank you, Arnold and Jeremiah, for being on.
Yes,
and,
sir.
man, we wish you guys the best. Thank you for listening to OKCPS Coaches Show here on CBS Sports Radio. We are located here at Dick's Sporting Goods, 6601 Southwest 3rd. Our other sponsors are SNU, Casey's General Store, Scissortail Waste Solutions, Automax, Grinmore Sneaker Boutique, and my man, Big Old Pork and Dreams. Let's give it up one more time. U.S. Grant, thank you so much. We'll see you the same time next week here on CBS OKCPS Coaches Show.